Hello friends, welcome. Friends, we all know that satellite services in India is kind of getting discussed, and probably in the mid of this year we are going to start to see satellite services deployment in the country, because the Minister of Communication is being quoted saying in the article of this article where Telecom Minister Jyotiraj Scindia saying that India would open up to embracing global broadband players in Mobile Congress in 2025 Barcelona on Tuesday. So this article came out in Mint, right? So because this imminent rollout of satellite services along with the terrestrial services which we are already having and experiencing for broadband services, the terrestrial operators getting quite concerned. So what they are saying, they seek a fair treatment for satellite spectrum rules for entry of satellite players in the market. And this we have been hearing for such a long period of time, because in one of the event, which is the Indian Mobile Congress in 2024, Mr. Mittal, the chairman of Bharti Airtel, was heard saying that he needs a level playing platform for satellite broadband services in the urban area, and he considered that satellite has a huge role to play in the rural area where the deployment of broadband is very difficult. So he's all for it, but he wants a level playing field in the urban area. So friends, after having gone through so many discussions and so many analysis, what I thought is that this is now the time to do a deep dive economic analysis, because these are all conjectures. We really don't know what is the numbers, because unless you speak about numbers, it makes no sense. You can keep on saying whatever you want, right? So with that in intent, I wrote this article. Now this article is just full of numbers, and I will take you through these numbers one by one. If you are watching this video, you can get access to this article. I'll paste a link in the description. Okay. So the title of this article is Satellite Broadband India, Genuine Threat or Manufactured Fear. Now you might be basically asking or thinking that why I have used the word manufactured fear, and it'll get clear as we go through this article, because this article is based on logic and number, right? It is not based on conjecture. So be with me, you will be able to understand this, right? So I have used hard economic data to do this article. So friends, what I did was that fortunately in India, there is a website managed by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, which keeps on publishing household per capita income data, right? Monthly per capita income of individuals, right? And I have already done a lot of analysis using this data for analyzing various other spaces in past articles, and I'm going to paste those articles also in the description. So what I've done, friends, I took this data and I'll show you where this data is available. This is the latest report, right? You see here, Household Consumption Expenditure Survey of 2023-24. Now, friend, this is a pretty important document. Why it is important document? Because this forms the reference of creating CPI weights. Now, you know CPI, Consumer Price Index weights, because there are different verticals under which the CPI index are measured. And when you aggregate those index, you have to associate certain weights, and those weights are kind of derived from this consumption survey, right? How it is derived? You will get a peek by looking at this first diagram, which I have pasted here in my article. Now, if you look at this article, you will find that there is a big diagram with y-axis on the left hand side with various items, right? You can see these items are there. Now, these are not exactly mapped to the CPI items, because the CPI items are slightly different, but these are more or less, you can map them if you want to. I have already done one article by mapping them with the CPI index to kind of extrapolate what is the change of weight structure as we have moved forward in time, because these are the weights, right? What you see here, these are the weights. Why it is weights? Because the total expenditure is 100, and then what is the proportion of expenditure versus this individual item, you can very easily ascertain. Now, I am not interested in this video to talk about all other items, because there are many items here. You can pause the video and have a look at it. I am only interested in this item, which I have marked by the red border, which is what? Consumer services excluding conveyance. You will see this article. Let me just change the color of my pen, otherwise it is not looking good. So consumer service excluding conveyance. Now here you will find that in 1999 to 2000 survey, the number was 4.73%. So the weight was 4.73%, but it kind of went up and then it went down, then it went down, and then it went a little bit up, and then it basically went down to 5.72% in the latest survey of 2023-24. Now, so it clearly proves that this item hasn't really exploded, as there are certain items, some items basically have not, most of the item you can have an individual look and see whether it has exploded or it has converged or contracted. Here it is more or less stable, right? Look at this, more or less stable. So we can safely assume that there is highly unlikely that as we move forward in time in the coming year, this item is going to stay roughly around 5. This is the number. This is for urban area only. This is not for rural area. This table. And the rural area, there is a different table. I have not used that rural area. So just to focus on urban area, because as Sunil Mittal was saying that he's only interested in having a level playing field for urban area. So I use this as the benchmark, because rural area will be far worse. If you do the calculation, the rural area from a competitive point of view for satellite is going to be far worse. Now, the second part is important, is estimating the absolute consumer spend on satellite communication, circle-wise mapping and insight. Because we know on a pan-India basis, the weights are here. These are here, right? But we need to basically calculate circle-wise mapping and insight. So friends, fortunately, again in the same report, if you go to this page, let me show you the page 11 of 21. So I'll just go here, page 11 of 21. Where is page 11 of 21? So you'll find here the page 11 of 21. Again, you go down. Where is it? Pages. So here you will find that the statement 7, average MPC. So what does it tell you? That we have the pan-India number of 4122 for rural area, 6966 rupees for urban area. What does it mean? Per consumer, per individual, per month consumption. 6,996 for urban and 4,112 for rural. For all the other states, the individual numbers have been extracted out and pasted here. So it is a state-wise. So what I have done is I have basically mapped these state-wise numbers to circle-wise numbers, and I have captured this number here. You see? So this is the number, the same table, but I just mapped them from a circle, from a state-wise to circle-wise. Because I know the pan-India aggregated number for rural and urban for that item, that is the communication excluding conveyance, here I will be able to capture the absolute value for that specific item by multiplying with this for these items. Simple. 5.72% multiplied by 8088 will come out to give me this number. Similarly, I have calculated for, and the pan-India number is 216 for rural and 400 for urban, right? So far so good. Here you are with me. Now, after having done that, what I need to do, because this is a circle-based aggregated number for the whole circle, for the whole population class in a particular circle. But everybody is not equal in a circle, right? So there could be some population which will be poorer, there will be some population will be a little bit richer, and then there will be a super rich class which will be at the topmost end of the pyramid. So fortunately, again, in the same report, if you go there, you will find that in page number, which page it is, statement 3, fractile cars, in page number 5 and 6, you will find this table. What this table will tell you, it will give you the rural and urban MPC, the aggregated number, right? Urban MPC on various factile classes. Means 0 to 10, 5% of the population will be consuming to a level of 1677 rupees in rural, 2376 rupees in urban. Like that, you can see that 95 to 100% of the population, means within that fractile range, will be consuming 10,137 in rural and 20,030 in urban. So this gives me a very good opportunity to do what? To calculate this ratio. And this ratio is what? This number divided by this number, which is 0.41. Similarly for urban, 2376 divided by 6696 is equal to 0.34. So this gives me a ratio that from, if I consider this as 1, what is the ratio of the consumption pattern of the various factile classes? Now, why do I need this ratio? I need this ratio because I know the aggregated pan-India number, right? So what I can do is that I can simply multiply 216 by 0.41, I'll get 88. Then I multiplied 400 by 0.34, I'll get 136. So like that, I can calculate the amount to spend on that vertical, which is consumer service excluding conveyance, for all these fractile classes. Now I have been able to further refine or create more granularity of this number, which I need, because without which I will not be able to ascertain, how much amount of, what is the percentage of population will be able to afford satellite services, right? So after having done this, what I need to do, assessing circle-wise affordability of satellite broadband, mapping communication spent by income classes, because I have now a method of segregating this aggregated number. So I have done it for pan India. I can do it for circle basis, because the circle basis numbers are right here. Here you have the number, so I can take the urban numbers and I can simply do, what do? I create this matrix, and this matrix has what? This has got circles here. These are the urban numbers here, which are ranked based on a descending order. The highest one is on the top, and the lowest one is the bottom, and the pan India number is at the bottommost. Then I have all these fractile classes here and this ratio, which I have calculated here. You can see 0.34, 0.44, 0.53, blah, blah, blah. And these are all you can see here. So by multiplying this with 0.34, I get 202. Like multiplying 594 with 0.44, I'll get 263. Like that, I can create this whole table. Now, after having created this table, this gives a very, very appealing graphical picture of what is going on. Because now you can kind of come out with a threshold, because you can't assume that a person with the ability to spend 200 rupees only will be able to afford satellite broadband. So you make up your number. So I made up my number as 800 rupees. Right? Though it looks to me quite you can say, enthusiastic number, right? It is a very optimistic number. It is not possible, because there are so many other services which has to be aggregated in the 800 rupees number. It could be haircut, it could be mobile phone, and anywhere in the world you go, you will never get a satellite broadband services as cheap as rupees 800. Because if you go through this report, which is an IIFL report, which is done on 27th November 2024, you will compare this table you go through. I'll again paste a link in the link of this in the description. You will find that the satellite services are pretty much very costly compared to the existing mobile services or the FWA services. The cheapest service is in Kenya, where $10 monthly plan is offered with a cap of 50 GB. You can't download more than 50 GB. But in India, we have plans, mobile or the fixed wireless plans less than $10, which is unlimited, right? So that's the difference. That's why I took this 800. I could have taken 900. I could have taken 1000. Okay. Now let's get back here. So if I had taken 900 or 1000, this picture is going to be far worse. What you see here. So this picture that you see here, this border which I have encapsulated, this would have been far worse. So by taking 800 rupees a number, I have a respectable area of this border in this overall matrix. So you can clearly see that this is even a small fraction of the total universe here, right? And why I'm saying it is a very small fraction of the total universe, because I have taken a very conservative or very optimistic number for the satellite affordability. And if I take the number higher, then this number is going to shrink to a very, very small area. Now friends, after having established affordability, next part would be to establish whether the services are of same service nature or not. Because this is important. When you say same service, same rule, after having established affordability, we need to figure out whether the services are same service or not. So what does it mean? It basically means, forget about the amount of money that you're going to charge, right? You have to take one thing into consideration, that the plans which are of affordable nature, whether there is a data cap or not. If there is data cap, then even if the download speed is 100 Mbps, though the upload speeds are always low in FWA as well as for satellite is far worse, you find that the Kenya plan, whatever is offered, has a cap of 50 GB. Means the satellite players, though they are offering a plan of $10, which is substantially low compared to the plans that they have offered in the other countries, which are very, very high. If you look at this, OneWeb is offering plans which are very, very high, $395. This is $120, blah, and compared to what you see here in Indian telcos of through $2.3, $7.1, and the highest plans are little higher. So this cap does not exist in the plans that we generally use. Today I am using an 800 rupees plan. I don't have any cap. I can do unlimited download. Because of this, the problem would be that even if you make this plan affordable, when you put a cap, which will be absolutely essential, because the total number of satellites you see today, which is the Starlink satellites, is only 4,000. We have got a 30 million base station in India alone, right? Sorry, yeah, 30 million base station we already have. So, no, I don't think 30 million. What is the number? How many base stations we have? Let me see. Base station number BTS. Let me see. This comes to very, very handy because this my site, I can basically go and look at the tables very clearly. So this number is lakhs. So 29.85 lakhs of BTS on ground. And how many are there as far as satellite is concerned? Where is that? See, only 4K. 4K Starlink. So 4K Starlink means if you have to cover India, maybe there will be 100 satellites. When you have 100 satellites, the footprint will be so large that you will not be able to support a higher data aggregation capability for those low-end plans. That's why probably this is the limit that you have here. Where is it? This 50 GB limit that you have. You get it? So let me conclude. After having spoken for so long, it's very simple now. If we apply an affordability threshold of 800 rupees per month for communication services, the data reveals a stark reality. Only 20% of the population in Punjab can even qualify as potential satellite broadband customers. 11 circles from Punjab to Kerala, this fraction shrinks to 10%, and for all the circles, it is just 5% or less. So it's clear that this analysis rests on a critical assumption that satellite broadband is a comparable service experience to terrestrial broadband, both in terms of speed and data allowances. However, as per the IFL report which I just showed you, the assumption does not hold in reality. Okay, the Starlink affordability plan offer a data cap of 50 GB, which will continue to be happening because you cannot have so many satellites and you cannot do frequency reuse, right? That is why I believe that implication is pretty clear. In a price-sensitive urban market in India, satellite broadband unlikely to be very competitive substitute for terrestrial broadband. It will remain a niche service primarily suitable for remote with no terrestrial coverage, as exactly what IFL report projects. And therefore, why Sunil Mittal and others lobbying so hard to impose additional regulatory levies on an obligation of satellite player under the banner of sales service revenue? You have to answer this question. I cannot answer this question. You have to tell me. The numbers are right in front of you. You tell me why this battle is being fought. Why such a cacophony is going on. With the numbers clearly on the table. Even OneWeb's offering, with the Sunil Mittal's company, which is right here, which is in the IFL report. This is the number, right? See? So many dollars per month. So tell me, what is going on here? Can you tell me? Can you just throw some light? I'll get enlightened because that is why this article has been titled such. Because after having done the analysis, I could not think of a better title for this article. So thanks friends for your time. And I hope the readers are going to provide me with more insights, or the viewers are going to give me more insights. I'll get more enlightened, and maybe if I commit some errors in my analysis, I will correct them. And thank you very much for your time to listen to the end, and I'll come back with a new video next time. Thank you for a new topic.